Okay, how's it going, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about Sabo, as you can probably tell from the thumbnail. I have a lot to say about Sabo, and Vivi as well. I didn't put Vivi in the thumbnail because I didn't have space, but it's about Vivi as well, so let's talk about that. So, we got information in this chapter, actually. You know what? I'm going to have it up just to make sure it's 100. That Sabo and everyone else did survive, but I'm assuming Kuma sent everyone else to Kamabaka Kingdom, or Queendom, sorry. So, let's see then. Everyone but Sabo and probably Vivi, right? Or maybe Vivi was sent outside of. Maybe she thinks Sabo. Actually, let's talk about that for a second. What if Vivi thinks Sabo actually killed Cobra? Because that'd be a very interesting dynamic. Like, let's say what I'm about to say is wrong, and only Vivi was transported to the Sunny, okay? And like everyone's expecting Carrot to hop out, like, ooh. You know, instead it's like Sanji goes in to cook, he sees Vivi, and he's like, I did this before, but Vivi Chuan, you know, that type of shit, right? And no, love Sanji, bro. Jinbei top one though. Yeah, no, but if that happens, we could get a confrontation between Luffy and Vivi, because obviously Luffy, although he cares for Vivi, is not going to believe her when she says Sabo killed Cobra. You know what I mean? And obviously, I don't think this is going to happen because I feel like Oda likes to have it where no one really doubts Luffy. You know, even the people who have been with Luffy never doubt Luffy or anyone he's really close to, because they're like, because of Luffy's ability to make people trust him. So I don't think they're going to ruin that plot line by having Vivi not trusting Luffy's brother. Although it would be a very interesting plot line, considering Luffy has, quote unquote, reached the pinnacle of that power, where he's like, now he's Joy Boy, and he's like, ho ho ho, you know, that sort of stuff, right? That was a terrible laugh, but you gotta run with it, right? And it would be very interesting if it was like, but your brother killed my father, and that had more conflict, and obviously Luffy's not going to believe that. And then what might happen is they go, obviously they have a Vivro card, right, to Sabo. They go find Sabo, and then that leads into the next arc. Now, I've heard there's a lot about Sphinx Island and Elbath and Hachinosu. I don't think we're going to Hachinosu. I don't know who would be better to go to Hachinosu. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, well, Law might be going to Elbath, but wouldn't it be more interesting if Law went to Hachinosu? Because if Randy Troy, big ups to Randy Troy, his big theory about Sword, Law, and Sword of Truth, like, it would be better for Law to go to Hachinosu, because then he might actually get his ass saved by Aokiji if Aokiji is undercover as well. And Aokiji might rope him in somehow. They might have a fake pirate alliance with Blackbeard in order to save Law. I don't know. It could be cool. Like, maybe they're like, alright, Law might be a lot more lenient against Blackbeard because Aokiji sort of telling them, all right, I don't fuck up my plan here. Or then maybe that's why they won't have Law go to go to Hachinosu, because they're like, Law, we don't want you to. Law knows not to go to Blackbeard because that will fuck up Aokiji's plan. That can entirely be it. And I do think Kid would make it interesting to go there, but that's besides the point. Sphinx Island is well theorized to be where Ace is, right? That's the big theory at the moment, is where Ace and Whitebeard are buried, because it's Whitebeard's hometown. And obviously Marco's there, and we assume that's where the Straw Hats are going, because there was some map drawn in a magazine that was supervised by Oda's editors and like staff members, so we assume that that's where they're going next. And that's why I believe in what I'm about to say here, which is that Sabo and Vivi, or maybe just Sabo, but Sabo primarily was transported to the Sunny, right? I don't know why. Maybe he asked to be, or something like that. Or maybe it was just because he was protecting Vivi, and Vivi was transported to the Sunny, because that's probably the best place for her right now, just like Amazon Lily was the best place for Luffy, right? Kuma does that. I don't know why he does that. We'll have to talk about that some other day. But if they pop out and they're going to Sphinx Island, not only would this increase the kind of importance of the Ace flashbacks to remind everyone about Ace and build up the relationship between him and the people of Wano, but also Luffy. And, you know, with Luffy now having a younger brother in Momo, and that happening because there was so many people who had a relationship with Ace, and you're building up that relationship and the importance it has to Luffy even more, and how Luffy handled it. This is probably going to be the first time he visits Ace's grave, right? And I think it'd be perfect to have Sabo there with him. And that's why I feel like either he's on Sphinx Island or he's transported by Kuma to the Sunny. And Vivi's obviously there because if we go to Elbaf straight after, people are like, well, she has to be in Elbaf because of Brogy, or Dory and Brogy. So that's why I'm assuming they're both going to be transported there. And then that's when we'll have our lore dump of what happened in Marishoa. Because we kind of know, but we don't know entirely. We don't know what went on there, really. We haven't got the full information yet, which I'm looking forward to getting personally. And I'm really excited for that. But what we might get is a small arc where Luffy goes to Sphinx. And I don't think there's going to be much conflict. I think it's going to be mainly focused on, for example, visiting Ace's grave, maybe being there with Marco, because we didn't get an interaction between Luffy and Marco, and maybe that's where Marco went off to tell Ace that he freed Wano like he asked him to. And hell, maybe he might leave a bit of Izo there, in memory of Izo, maybe like a hair clip or something. Or maybe like his Izo wore a lot of makeup, right? So maybe like his lipstick or something. We never saw Izo with lipstick, so I don't know, but if there's something like that, maybe then, I don't know, a hair clip or like a lipstick, or maybe one of his guns. I don't know, because he had 2 guns, right? So, but then you're supposed to bury your weapons in your home country, so they're probably both buried in Wano, so that wouldn't really work. But my point being is Marco is most likely at Sphinx Island, so it would make more sense for Sabo to be transported to the Sunny so he can then visit Ace's grave with Luffy, and we can have probably a mini ASL kind of thing where they're sitting there, they're talking to Ace, and like just they think they see Ace's ghost. Obviously it's not real, obviously like it's just visual stuff, but it just shows up, and we have an adult scene of them sitting by the sake cups, because there's 3 sake cups there, and it'd be a lovely, hopefully full page. It'd be nice if it was a full page spread, but Oda doesn't do that stuff. We'll probably get like a half a page panel of that, and we'll get a lovely screenshot for the wallpapers of Ace and Sabo and Luffy all there by the sake cups growing up, whether it's Ace's ghost or not. But I think it'd be really cool to see. How we might get a gag where Luffy takes Ace's hat. Oh no, is he gonna Joy Boy takes a joke? He's like, and then Sabo gets annoyed at him. He's like, don't do that, that's desecrating the graves, and Luffy just having the crack, And I think that would be very good, because it would not only be a good way to basically calm down from all the madness of 4 years of Wano, it's also good where we can have more of a lore dumps through this tiny arc where they go to visit Ace to kind of calm things down, and maybe we get more focus on things like Cross Guild, and maybe we flash to what Law and Kid are doing to have a bit more action, whereas Luffy's primary stuff is just chilling and looking at Ace's grave, so maybe Luffy won't be the main focus of this arc. Now, I have my own theory about like Zoro and his focus when we get to the Cross Build arc, whatever that's going to be. But still though, there is a lot to be said on how this could be handled. I'm very intrigued about this, to be honest with you. And I feel like having, like, because we talked about his 9 commanders, right? And they've talked about this, that's what they are now. And there's 10 Titanic captains. Now, I don't know if that includes Blackbeard, because if that includes Blackbeard, then this doesn't mean anything. But if Vivi is back on the crew, and that's our quote-unquote final crewmate, because I do think people like Kinemon, Momo, and Yamato are going to come back for the final war, and maybe even like all the different members that are technically members but aren't at the moment. So all the like princesses from all the kingdoms are going to come for the final war in the name of Luffy. But in terms of the main crew that we're going to finish and find the One Piece with, I think Vivi's going to be the last member of that, because if Yamato joined, I would have still thought Vivi, and if she's not joining, Vivi's still coming back, right? And I think having the 10 commanders in Vivi, because I think they didn't show this because I don't know why they wouldn't show it, but I still feel like half of what Wappo was saying on the phone to Morgans in that interlude chapter was that Vivi was with the Straw Hats on Drum Island, and now she is, although she's considered missing, she's also considered to have betrayed her country by joining the Straw Hats. So there's double meanings between the upset Alabasta citizens because Vivi has in a way gone missing and abandoned her kingdom, and also because Cobra's dead. They feel like she's abandoned her kingdom maybe when she shows up with the Straw Hats at different places and isn't taking care of it, and there might be some conflict there between her wanting to get revenge for her father's death and also take care of her kingdom. So there's a lot to be said there, right? And there's a lot of good character development we could have for Vivi and how this will affect her. And is Karu also involved? That is the big question. Do we get Karu? Do we get Karu, the top birds, the big man birds, the number one, the Conquerors Hockey King? Do we get him back on the squad? That's what I'm hoping for, lads. That's what I'm hoping for. Oh, I should get a Karu plushie one day. That'd be actually, do they have that? All right. No, I gotta check that after I make the video. But that's my point. There is a lot that could be covered with Vivi, so she could definitely be a crewmate still, because she still has another character arc to go through, or at least elements that will affect Alabasta and the rest of the world. And she now has a revenge story with the world government, which I think is going to be fascinating. And that will be a reason, because we say hockey blooms in tense situations. So you could have Easy where she gets annoyed, angry, or maybe her hockey even bloomed when Cobra was dying. Maybe she was like, her hockey bloomed and she was about to attack one of the Gorsei or whoever killed Cobra, and Sabo got in the way and helped her escape, because I'm sure he knows about the connection between Luffy and Vivi. If Cobra is connected to the Revolutionary Army because Dragon seems to know who he is, then of course Sabo would know about what happened to Alabasta, right? He's well aware of that. You know what I mean? So I do feel like it all makes sense for Sabo and Vivi to be either on Sphinx Island, where they're going next, hopefully, or teleported onto the ship by Kuma, like Luffy was for Amazon Lily. I think that would be great. And it would also make a good tie into the ship, because we know they have a Denden Mushi on the ship. And maybe that's how people find out where they are, especially the government. Because they are calling the Denden Mushi on the ship, and we get the government checking in, and we get the Straw Hats realizing, oh fuck, someone's in our kitchen or in like our living space, where the Denden Mushi is, right? And they all come in. Zoro's ready to attack. Sanji's flamed up his leg. Jinbei's like, fisherman a karate, right? And that shit, right? Nami's got Zeus ready. We've all got it's an action shot. And then Dragon's waiting on his word, and the Marines are figuring out where he is, and all you hear is Luffy going, "Ha, Sabo!" And everyone's just like, "Oh, he's under the Emperor's protection." And I think that'd be so cool. All right, I think that would be an amazing scene. Some good comedy. I'm sure Oda can make it funnier than I make it out to be. Definitely 100%. I feel like that would work better, because, again, I don't think he'd have a problem with using Luffy's Denden Mushi, if I'm going to be honest with you. Because as far as we know, Denden Mushis don't have password protection, do they? And also, it's like, come on, he'll be easily able to explain it. So I don't see him having a problem with that. And we might get Nami reacting to Vivi, and then everyone knows exactly where they are, and that would also build on they know she's with the Straw Hats then. So then she might get a bounty of herself from that moment alone. They might assume the Straw Hats kidnapped her, or they might assume she's under the protection of the Straw Hats. I don't know which way they're going to go with it, but I do think it'd be a fascinating thing to see. I've kind of hyped myself up for the next chapter already. Now, we could possibly not have it in the next chapter. It could be, but then we got the end of the chapter where it's Sabo, right? So it kind of has to be. And a lot of people are saying that we might not get the two crew, the 2 chapters after an arc, usually, where we're spending time on the ship. This way we get actual plot moving forward, and also spend a bit extra time on the ship, where Luffy and crew are catching up with Sabo and Vivi, and it would also allow Jinbei to kind of find out about the Alabasta stuff and all that different shit, right? So we catch Jinbei up to speed immediately. Same with Brook and all those who joined afterwards. So I think I'm quite looking forward to this myself. But let me know what you guys think is going to happen with Sabo and Vivi in the next chapter. And with that being said, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content from me. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.